Welcome to Diecast Restos. I'm Jason, and this week I have a new brand of casting to work on. It's a 1:66 scale Schuco Volkswagen Scirocco that was kindly sent in to me by viewer Lothar. I'd been eager to try my hand at restoring a Schuco for some time, so a big thank you to Lothar for providing me with this one. Once I've removed his name from the bottom of the casting, you'll notice that there are no rivets holding it together. That's because they are push fit, with some very narrow split rivets only just securing the back down. Here's how one should look when mint. It's based on a first generation Type 53 Scirocco, but more on that shortly. All that is required to separate the body and base today are some precision screwdrivers and a set of needle nose pliers. The model is pretty firmly connected though, so it takes a bit more effort than I was first expecting. Founded in 1912 in Nuremberg, Germany by Heinrich Müller and Heinrich Schreyer, Schuco quickly gained fame for its innovative clockwork tin toys. Their unique creations such as the Pick Bird and Wind Up Animals charmed children and adults alike. But it was in the 1930s that Schuco truly made its mark with the introduction of toy motor vehicles. These miniature cars boasted unique features like clockwork motors or tele-steering, where the toy could be steered through a small steering wheel attached to the car by wire. The post-war era saw Schuco pivot to larger scale tin toys before transitioning to plastic and die-cast metal in the 1950s. Lines like the Varianto wire track system and the 1:90 scale Piccolo series became Schuco favourites. In the 1960s and 70s, Schuco continued to expand its range with 1:43 scales in the 1000 and 600 series and 1:66 scale in the 300 series. This Scirocco formed part of the 300 series and featured intricate details and opening parts similar to its stablemates. 69 models were released into the series, which was called Super Schnell, super fast when translated to English, essentially using the same wording as Matchbox at the time. Of the 1969 to 1976 300 series, there are more than 1,000 variations of the 69 models, be it colours, interiors, trim or promotionals. Smaller scale commercial vehicles also made their way into the Super Schnell range. The Scirocco was a late entry to the series, arriving in 1975. It was available in 3 colour variations from Schuco, silver or dark or light green, each with a red interior. It was also made under licence in Brazil by Miniaturas Rai. Further colours were available, as well as a black interior. It could be found with or without Golf oil stickers. This is similar to fellow German manufacturer Schuco, who also allowed some of their castings to be produced in Brazil. In 1976, Schuco declared bankruptcy. Despite this, Schuco found new life through acquisitions and reorganisations. In 1999, it became part of the Simba Dickey Group, allowing Schuco to continue as a brand, producing collectible models in various scales. The reason why the model Scirocco arrived as late as 1975 is because the real car went on sale in 1974, after its Geneva Motor Show debut in 1973. Named after a Mediterranean wind and styled by Giorgietto Giugiaro, the Scirocco was born as a successor to the Karmann Ghia. Engineered on the Golf platform, the Scirocco underwent extensive re-engineering to ensure its performance matched its striking looks. The compact sport hatchback was offered with a number of 4-cylinder engines, ranging from 1.1 to 1.6 litres or 1.7 for the US. The Scirocco GTi, introduced in 1976, elevated the driving experience with its high revving engine, mechanical fuel injection and enhanced performance features. It set the stage for the iconic Golf GTi that would follow later that year. Over its production run, the Scirocco saw several updates and special editions, including the Champagne, Sidewinder and Storm models. In Japan, the car found success with its compliance with government regulations and offerings of smaller displacement engines. Meanwhile, in North America, the car underwent engine changes over the years to meet emissions requirements and customer demands. As the 1980s approached, the Scirocco continued to evolve, with improvements in performance and refinement. However, it was in need of modernising visually, so the second generation launched in 1981 which was designed in-house but remained based on Volkswagen's A1 platform. The second generation Type 53B Scirocco was produced up to 1992 in smaller numbers than its predecessor, 291,000 compared to over 504,000 of the first generation. The second generation Scirocco was briefly joined but effectively replaced by the Corrado in the VW lineup, though this had been on sale since 1988 and was aimed further up market. The Schuco casting lists this model as being a TS type with 85 PS or 84 horsepower. Without that information on the base casting, it wouldn't be too difficult to assume that it is based on a TS anyway. That is because the less powerful L and S models, with 50 and 70 PS respectively, came with 2 rectangular headlights instead of the 4 round headlights. Even though we know this casting was produced from 1975 and predates the 1977 facelift, you can additionally tell due to the side marker and turn signals. On the facelift, these wrapped around onto the front wing. Also, the B-pillars were black instead of body coloured, and the chromed rubber insert bumpers became wraparound one-piece plastic. Now it's time to rebuild my first ever Schuco restoration attempt. Following the window transparency is the rebuilt steering wheel and door piece. There are 2 studs that helpfully align and connect this to the casting. Like all of the other parts, this is push fit, although it did take a bit of force. After that is the red interior piece, which hooks over that plastic part. Lastly, the base with the wheels attached, pushed back into their axle retainers, slots over the top, connecting via the 2 small rear split rivets and pushing over the post front and centre. So here was how Lothar's donated Schuco VW Scirocco appeared when I received it. The axles were evidently bent quite considerably, what with its low ride height. The paintwork was patchy across the entire model and had orange remnants of perhaps a decal on the bonnet. The chrome had been erased from the hubcaps and the window piece was a little cloudy. The base plate that incorporates the grille, front and rear bumpers and rear registration plate was also in need of a polish. But here it is now, all fixed up and returned to one solid coat of silver. I love how the grille looks now that it's been buffed out after using some Autosol metal polish. The wheels have been washed in Citadel, with some molotochrome lifting those hubcaps. Speaking of lifting, the ride height has been raised after I straightened those bent axles. The interior and window pieces have been washed, with the latter now popping after a polishing. I'll have the model on my turntable in the outro with its doors open and with some period shots of a yellow TS Scirocco. I want to sincerely thank Lothar for sending this model to me, giving me the opportunity to kickstart my career in Schuco restorations. If you'd like to see more Schucos on the channel, leave the video a like and tell me what castings you'd like to see me work on in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to keep up with my latest works, but all that leaves me to say is thanks for watching and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.